Who came up with the memes, left Oxford and quarrelled with the creationists? Of course, this is Dr. Richard Dawkins. Today we will talk about this amazing man. The future scientist was born in then British Kenya, but spent his childhood in Oxfordshire. Even then, according to his own words, he began to doubt religion and was interested in science. He entered Oxford, where he studied zoology under the guidance of Nobel laureate Nicholas Tinbergen. He received his Ph.D. in 1966. The following year, he began teaching at Berkeley, where he participated with students in protests against the Vietnam War. In 1970, Dawkins returned to Oxford and began teaching there. Richard left the university only after almost 40 years, in 2008. Richard Dawkins is an evolutionary biologist, but his interests go far beyond the subject. His books have sold millions of copies and have been translated into dozens of languages. Richard Dawkins taught, wrote essays on evolution, and in 1976 published the book The Selfish Gene, which made him famous. He argued that the basis of natural selection is the evolution of genes, not individuals, species, or anything else, and the social structure of the animal world. These are the concepts of altruism, brotherhood, hierarchy, aggression. He also explained from the point of view of the theory of genes. The language of the scientist was simple, easy and cheerful, understandable to any reader not experienced in biology. He also wrote about the problem of population growth, criticized the prohibition of contraception in Catholic countries, and raised many other acute and difficult topics. The book had the effect of an exploding bomb and became a bestseller. She was discussed and quoted everywhere. The priests were outraged, many believers demanded that the book be burned as a hotbed of heresy, and the Times wrote enthusiastically, "Reading this book makes you feel like a genius." The Selfish Gene has been repeatedly republished in many languages of the world and still causes fierce controversy. In 1995, Dawkins became a professor at Oxford University as part of the Simon Professorship for the Popularization of Science, created specifically for scientists to explain complex scientific concepts to ordinary people. Since then, he has actually been working as an educator. He wanted to show that even without religion it is possible to live harmoniously, meaningfully and morally. "I am a defender of truth and science, and this automatically turns me into an opponent of irrational belief in the supernatural of all kinds, including religion," he says. Dawkins organizes seminars and lectures, writes books and participates in public discussions, and appears in popular science films. Showing how long the path to the top of evolution is, he explains fascinating things. Why do sea cows have gills instead of lungs? How giraffes grew a long neck? How wings developed in flightless birds? How beaver genes make it build dams? And cuckoo genes manipulate foster parents? And much, much more. In 1986, Dawkins again blew up the society with the book The Blind Watchmaker, How Evolution Proves the Absence of Design in the Universe. He wanted to convince that the Darwinian worldview is the only known theory that can reveal the mystery of our existence. The scientist explained the purpose of the book. In it, he argues with the theological theory of the watchmaker, according to which a person, like a watch, is a very complex object and can only be created by the will and mind of the creator. And it shows how natural selection, using variations of simple forms over thousands of generations, gives rise to very impressive complexity, such as the echolocation apparatus in bats. Dawkins emphasizes that natural selection is a blind watchmaker. He is blind because he does not look ahead, does not plan the outcome, and has no purpose. The explosion was also caused by his book The Illusion of God, which has been translated into more than 30 languages of the world. The existence of God is as much a scientific hypothesis as any other, Dawkins said, and he called the need for God infantilism. An adult, like a child, hopes that someone will ensure his well-being or answer for his troubles. Since 2011, Dawkins has been a professor at the New Liberal Arts College, a university in London, where he writes more than he teaches. And justifying the nickname Darwin's Rottweiler, he continues to use every opportunity to convince people that space, billions of years of evolution and genetics bring more miracles than myths. We're going to die, and that makes us lucky. Most people will never die because they will never be born. The number of potential people who could be here in your place, but in fact will never see the light of day, they are much more than grains of sand in the Sahara. We are a privileged bunch of people who, against all odds, won the birthday lottery. How dare we complain about our imminent return to a state from which the vast majority were never born? We humans are just a shell for the selfish entities that live inside us. They control us, they drive our actions, make us kill and betray, pretend that we are kind and caring only so that we can survive among others and prolong their lives. They are incredibly ruthless and completely selfish. These entities are known to us as genes. A religious student may become confused, wondering why God is creating problems by providing predators with a beautiful adaptation to catch prey, while with the other hand providing prey with a beautiful adaptation that prevents this. Apparently he enjoys this sport as a spectator. Spread your arms wide in a wide gesture to accommodate the entire evolution from the beginning at the fingertips of your left hand to the present day at the right, all the way through the middle and beyond the right shoulder. Life consisted only of bacteria. Multicellular invertebrate life blossomed somewhere near your right elbow. Dinosaurs originate in the middle of your right palm and die out in the area of the last phalanx of your finger. The whole story of Homo sapiens and our ancestor Homo erectus fits on the tip of a fingernail. When asked about my atheistic beliefs, I am always happy to answer that the person I am talking to is an atheist himself in relation to Zeus, Apollo, Amun-Ra, Mithras, Baal, Thor, Odin, the golden calf, and the flying macaroni monster. I just added another god to this list. Children should be taught not what to think, but how to think. Nature is neither kind nor cruel, it is indifferent. If I say that I am more interested in protecting against the extermination of large whales than improving the living conditions of people, I risk shocking some of my friends with this. The ways of DNA are inscrutable. What passes from brain to brain, the theory of how culture can be viewed from the point of view of Darwinism. Any successful idea that can be widely disseminated can be considered a meme. For example, a meme can be religion. This is a very successful meme. I'm on good terms with some bishops and priests who kind of believe in something, or they just like music and stained glass windows. I believe that freedom of speech is a very important value. If you disagree with someone, then object to them, not arrest them. The only exception is calls for violence. It's disgusting to think that the creator of the universe, capable of inventing the laws of physics and the processes of evolution, has not found a better way to atone for our sins than to let himself be tortured to death. People do not trust atheists. They believe that they have no moral foundations, that an atheist is almost a rapist. Of course, this is complete nonsense, because atheism is just a philosophical position, and a very reasonable one at that. Science has eradicated smallpox, protected it from previously deadly viruses, and can destroy previously deadly bacteria. Theology, on the other hand, did nothing, but talked all the time about epidemics as retribution for sin. When obsessive illusions appear in one person, it's crazy. When many people have them at once, it's a religion.